I am a huge believer in traditional medicine, but also in energy medicine.
Yes.
And Reiki is the form of spiritual medicine. We have with us Bodhi, aka the Blue Bodhi. It's great to have you here.
Yay!
She's like a modern day medicine woman. That's what I like about her, is that she's got like the secrets and the tools. It's natural with you, the healing ability, because I noticed that when you were doing Reiki, it was completely different.
People don't realize that when you hold a lot of energy in, it's just like grief. You hold grief in, you get physically ill. Well, if you're holding energy in, you can also get physically ill.
Hey everyone, welcome to Undeniable Proof. Today we have a very special guest who you're going to love, by the way.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about this one.
Really? Because in the beginning, I didn't think that you were really into like energy healing and things like that before you met me.
Oh, I didn't even know what it was before I met you. Oh, I had no idea what it was. I didn't know you could heal in so many different ways. And energy healing and like Reiki is kind of like one of my favorites, actually. Like I wish I could do it. You've taught me a little bit on how to do it, but I'm not a pro.
No, or a Reiki
like
master. We have a Reiki master on, which I am not a Reiki master. I do some energy healing, but not like the guests that we're about to have on.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you guys, you're going to be so excited because she's really cool. She has a mystical shop where she's like a modern day medicine woman. That's what I like about her, is that she's got like the secrets and the tools and like, the little things you can do around your house to keep out bad juju, to invite in good juju, to heal yourself, to heal your body, mind, and soul.
Everything we need. Let's do it.
So that's what we have with us Bodhi, aka the Blue Bodhi. It's great to have you here.
Yay! I'm so glad that you guys invited me on. I don't know what to say. I'm a little shell shocked after that glowing intro there. Like I'm a little flushed. Hang on.
Oh my God, no, you're amazing. And you're huge on TikTok. That's where you found her, right?
Oh my God, I was scrolling one day and you know what? It's like, it takes me a minute. Like when I'm scrolling, obviously there's a lot of spiritual people on TikTok, a lot of people doing their thing. And I was like, I like her. I'm like, she's got it. Because you know when somebody's got it and when they don't, at least I do anyways, right?
I was going to say good energy picks up on good energy. Yeah.
But I also like the fact that it's natural with you, the healing ability, because I noticed that when you were doing Reiki, it was completely different. It's your own form. It's not like, because
I didn't know this.
Oh, wait till we get into it. Wait till we get into it. Because
I'm so excited.
Here's the thing, like just like you can be taught to be a psychic medium, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain things that you follow the book with. What I love about Bodhi is that she doesn't follow the book. She does her own thing. So we're going to get into it. I want to talk everything about her. I want to hear everything. Awesome. Let me just tell you, for all of you guys who are listening, I am a huge believer in traditional medicine, but also in energy medicine.
Yes.
And Reiki is the form of spiritual medicine. So, Bodhi, do you want to tell people like what exactly Reiki is if they're not familiar with it?
So the overall view of Reiki is it is an energy healing art form. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it belongs to this religion or that religion, but it was founded by a Buddhist monk in the early 20th century. And it's found in Buddhism, it's found in Hinduism and yoga and all kinds of things like that. But it takes the energy all around you in your body that maybe it's caught here. You just had a real bad heartbreak and it's stuck right here and you can't get it loose. So Reiki will take that, help to disperse it and help to get the remainder out, because people don't realize that when you hold a lot of energy in, it's just like grief. You hold grief in, you get physically ill. Well, if you're holding energy in, you can also get physically ill. And what I love about it is that it has really blown up in the last 20 years. And they now use it in cancer centers, in VA centers. Like it's becoming way more mainstream. And I think it's fantastic.
Well, they use it in Boston right now. So when my mom went through cancer, she was having a really, really, really hard time with the recovery process, mainly the mental. She was having a really hard time because, oh my God, they were calling me at 3 a.m. She was trying to escape the hospital, pull the tubes out. She just like nothing was helping her. She was having this extreme paranoia. And the doctors didn't know what to do for her. And then they were like, Matt, do you think that she would benefit from Reiki? I'm like, of course you would benefit from Reiki. I'm like, you guys do that? So at Dana-Farber, which is obviously, one of the most well-known hospitals in the country, they have Reiki practitioners that go in.
Awesome.
And it really helped my mom. It calmed her down. And what was really amazing is that my mom actually, of course, she's a psychic, but when they started to do this treatment on her, she started to actually get different visions and premonitions, and she saw her mom there with her, which was really nice. And it kind of awoke in her, how would I say it? It's kind of awoke her to the spiritual side again after going through this horrible procedure.
Yeah. So Bodhi, what is your process like? Like when, say I came to you, right? And I really should have. I had a very traumatic first birth with my son, Royce. And it was something that I held on to a lot. And it was an emergency C-section. We've talked about it a lot on the podcast. And I just feel like my body was holding all of that energy in for a couple years, just because it was unexpected. It was very quick and it was a major surgery. And I was just holding all of that traumatic energy in for a while. So say someone like me came to you and I really needed your help. What is your process? Like, how do you start with a client? Like, do you take clients?
I do. Yes. And so my process is a lot different. So I've been doing this for since 2013. I've been doing this. So before TikTok was a thing and so on. But my specific form of Reiki, it combines 8 different types. Plus, if Matt watches me, he knows with the hands and so on. It is mudras for channeling certain energy. I also work with frequencies and I work with your aura. I have a couple of forms of synesthesia. So like, say you came into me, the first thing I'm going to tell you is I don't want to know anything about you. I don't want to know why you're seeing me. I don't want to know. Like, I would rather give you an authentic experience and know what's going on. So I would have you come in. I always have someone fill out paperwork because I do need to know, like, do you have a pacemaker? Like things like that. Yeah. And then I usually give somebody the choice really of what kind of music you would like. Some people don't like certain things and I get that, or we can just be quiet. But my process is I start from your feet, work all the way up, but I clear the chakras as I go through. I clear your aura as I go through. And if you came to me and I didn't know you had this going on, chances are I'm going to spend a lot of time right around your belly button. I'm going to spend a lot of time like just being there. And it's hard to explain the entire like mental process. I kind of let it go where it needs to go. Reiki energy will channel where the problem is in the body. So I had a professional wrestler I worked on last summer. And while I was working on him, I was like, what's up with your jaw? Like, why am I like clenching my jaw? Like, I can't stand it. He almost came out of the chair. He was like, how do you know that? How do you know that? I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm clenching my jaw. Like, stop. Yeah. And then I said, okay, we need to talk about what's going on right here. And he teared up and his girlfriend walked off. And I was like, please don't tell her I made you cry. Like, please don't tell her I made you cry, But afterwards we sat and talked, like he had a really traumatic experience at an event. And he was like, I can't get rid of it. And like, we're still friends. Like, he'll message me sometimes. He's like, I had a bad episode today. And I'm like, my friend, it's okay. Like, what can I do to help? But I would rather go into it blind and not know what's going on instead of knowing all the things.
Yeah, so. Just like you. That's how your process.
Well, you know what? I pick up on her energy right away, and I know like it's hard for you to talk about what you do, but I know right away you do a body scan on people. I know you do. So meaning that like energetically, like you can tell when someone comes in front of you, you can tell. It's almost like you look at them from the head all the way down to the toes, and I just see it with you. I see you doing that when you do your work. That you can tell. Okay, it's in their leg, it's in their stomach, it's in their head. Wow. It's it's something physical, it's something emotional. Is that correct?
Yep. Exactly. And if I'm working like distance, I also listen to your voice. So voices are a color to me. So it's so funny. I've heard your voice, but I've never heard your wife's voice. So like your voice is this gorgeous, like royal purple, and hers is this like sunshine yellow. I'm like, oh, it's so cute how you guys fit together. Like, I love it. But when I touch things, it's also a color. At first, I wasn't sure like how that corresponded. Like if I shake someone's hand, I get a color like that. But if I have my hands on you, like let's say you came, and I'm putting my hands physically on you, I'm going to start going through layers of color. And so then I can be like, oh, okay, so this layer coincides with your emotional layer as far as your aura and your psychology goes. And it's little and it's dark. So, all right. So what's up? Like we need to chat about why your emotions are minuscule, but it's, and I know that you'll understand this when I say this, Matt, but sometimes it's hard to not scan people when they come in front of you. And I really, really hate going to Walmart. I really please let me DoorDash and I will pay you money to bring me stuff, because I don't want to walk down the aisle and be the creepy lady. I just want to put my hand on you for a minute,
Oh, see, I would love that. I love that stuff. I would love that. Where are you based out of, Bodhi? Where do you live?
So I am in Tulsa. I just bought a property in Pennsylvania, and so I will be going back and forth.
Nice. Oh my God, we love Pennsylvania.
I got to tell you, Tulsa's a scary city. I did events in Tulsa.
Yes, I went with you.
Tulsa.
It's different.
It's very different. Very different. I was sharing with you my Tulsa experience, but
it's different. Yeah.
It was an experience.
We went to that donut place.
Yes, we did.
Hertz Donut.
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
So good. So fun. So
but now I know why you don't want to put your hands on people in Tulsa.
In Tulsa. That's true. That's true. So do you take, because I know a lot of people ask Matt this, and obviously you do your live events, but then you do your virtual online readings. Do you take clients virtually as well? Is this something you can do, or do you prefer in person so that you can be physical and touch and feel and things like that?
Well, so every Monday and Thursday at 8:30 Central, I do a free full Reiki session on TikTok. I have had that schedule for 5 years. And so I do it also because there are so many people that don't have anybody. So I want you to know that if you can just make it to Monday, if you can just make it to Thursday, I'm here, even if I'm sick as everything, I'll still be here. But I do want to say that y'all were my sign. I have not taken in-person clients virtually for over a year and a half. And when Matt asked me to be on on his podcast, I talked to my assistant and she was like, I see that look, don't do it. And I'm like, no, I need everything keeps telling me I'm not listening to my gut. And I just got asked to be on a podcast. And she said, well, who is it? And I told her, and she said, okay, what is it you're wanting to do? She always raises the eyebrow at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm going to do in-person clients again. And she kind of calmed down a minute. She said, 4. And I said, just Reiki. And she said, I think that's a good idea.
Oh my goodness.
So you got the validation.
You guys, yes, are my sign. I have too many Capricorn placements and I'm really stubborn. So I guess apparently I needed a big kick in the butt.
Well,
wow.
Every intuitive person, everyone who's a master intuitive, psychic, medium, we all have our specialties. And when I saw you doing Reiki and I saw you and you just popped up, I was I scrolled up, I scrolled back down. I said, no, she's really in tune.
You're I like her. I like her.
Because your energy is different. You are different, right? And that's always what I love to see, right?
Yeah.
And and what I love about you is when you do it, and if you guys have ever seen one of her Reiki sessions, you got to go on, you got to check it out, because she really does it from her soul. And what I love about this is that when you're doing Reiki, you also incorporate the elementals, right? I see you with your bracelets on. So can you tell people
oh my God, I love that sound. Do
you have them on right now?
Clinkles are they're so relaxing. I get tingles hearing that. I love that.
That's how you're neurospicy.
Am I? Sometimes I feel like I am.
You're like, what?
Have you ever heard of that term?
What?
Neurospicy?
No, I never heard of this.
Really?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's big on TikTok.
So neurospicy, we'll put it in air quotes, is a term for people that their brain works differently. So either they have ADHD, or they're on the spectrum, or they have epilepsy or something like that, where your brain works a little different. So part of the reason I incorporate frequencies in mine, the reason I choose the music I do, the reason that this sound is so relaxing to people is it touches you in different ways. So depending on where in your brain that activates, it's going to allow you either to really connect with it and be in tune and relaxing and bawling, ugly crying everywhere, or being angry, or whatever it is you need. But I found the more neurospicy someone is, they will sit and they do not miss a session. So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
I think I am. I have a bit of OCD, obsessive, my thoughts are obsessive. I ruminate, I need everything in a certain place. I need like my schedule is like the same. Everything's like the same. Like, and I start to go crazy if it's not. So yeah, no, yeah. I literally like just talking to you. I literally feel like that little tingly, like that. Like relaxed, like very relaxed. I sense it. I feel it. And it makes me like, now I want to like go on your live and I just want to hear you talk and like listen to the bracelets and like, I just want to take all like your energy in. I love it.
She's so good. She's so good at
I know. I can't wait to
I want to tell Monday about the bracelets, like why they're so special, why they're so important.
So you probably have noticed that, and I tried to do a little bit of a mix today, but so on my left side, I always wear something that's protective because y'all know as well as I do, not everybody has the best intentions for you. So this is my filter, basically. So I'll have like black tourmaline, which will soak up stuff. I'll have smoky quartz, which is one of my favorite. It kind of acts like a dialysis machine for energy. So it kind of takes the negative in, it cleanses it and goes from there. I usually wear a Super 7 sometimes on both hands. But Super 7 is an amethyst that has 7 other minerals that can't form on their own. So it looks like a really weird, cool, smoky amethyst. It's great. And from there, I just kind of intuitively pick. I listen to the sound of them because synesthesia is funny in that if the sound doesn't sit correctly in my vision, I'm like, nope, I can't have that. Like, nope, it's wrong. Wow. It's wrong. But on the other side, I usually wear one like this, which is called a golden healer. It's quartz with gold in it. And it amplifies everything. So it's one that for somebody with any kind of abilities, gifts, etc., it is going to amplify those. So if you feel blocked, if you feel, like your gift is right there and you can't grab it, a golden healer quartz is great for that. I always wear prenite, which is this gorgeous green one. It's a healer's healing stone. So anybody that's a healer, it should be your go-to, like just drip in it. I also create lotions that have powdered crystals in them, sugar scrubs, salt scrubs. So you can wear it all over you. So I love it. I'm all about
I need
it.
to buy.
So I got to ask you this. Because people come to me all the time and they're like, people who are just getting into spirituality. And of course, like the first stop is crystals, right? And like opening yourself up, but also at the same time, bringing some good energy into your home. What are like the top 4 crystals that you would say that people like should have in their home, especially when trying to clear out some, past negativity? Because I think that everybody who kind of falls back into spirituality is trying to escape something from their past, right? They were in a negative place, going through a bad divorce. They, went out on their own after having a traumatic experience, right? And I think that spirituality has really just been a safe haven for so many people. I see it happen all the time where like people are like, oh my God, I just want to gravitate towards something positive. So what are some good crystals to start with and how do they help us?
All right. Well, let me give you my top 4 in that scenario. If you're clearing something out, selenite is the first one. You need a big old chunk of it. It's pretty cheap, but selenite is a naturally clearing stone. It will clear the energy in a room. You can stick your jewelry up against it. It'll clear that. It is by far my favorite for just clearing everything down to the baseboards. I mentioned smoky quartz. That one's everywhere. So is selenite. They're pretty cheap. They're pretty inexpensive. I'm all about it on a budget. So smoky quartz is great. It has a lot more things than just obviously clearing the negative energy. Black tourmaline is another one. It's really cheap. It's great to have. It will soak up the energy. And one of the questions people always ask is, well, how do I know if it's done or if it's full? You'll know. It'll break. It'll break. It'll chip off and break a little bit. And then from there, to be honest, I would say just clear quartz. Because clear quartz is going to amplify anything else that you have. Clear quartz also can help kind of catalog the energy, catalog what's going on. So those 4 right there, you could go to any shop and pick up a tumble and walk out of there for less than $10 with those 4.
But let me ask you this. How important is it when you actually go to like shop for your crystals, like to pick it up, to feel it? Like, I know like when I was going crystal shopping, like there's just crystals that, and it sounds crazy, right? When you talk about it, like for those of you guys who've never been in, went shopping for crystals, but there's certain crystals that'll just speak to you. It's almost like they'll like pulsate. Like when you put it into your hands, you'll feel it.
So every different stone has a frequency. Every different stone resonates with some frequency. So if your heart chakra is off, that's a frequency. So you're going to go in and you're going to be drawn to like the rose quartz or the garnet. And then you're going to find that one that just matches what frequency you're at right then. And you ain't putting it down. Like it's going in the pocket. It's going right here. You're going to hold on to it forever. So this is also why when you go in and you shop for one, in my opinion, it's really important. Also, there's a lot of fakes on Amazon, a lot of fakes on Amazon. One of my favorite things, I go to the Denver Gem Show and the Tucson Gem Show every year. I'm excited to get up that way and go to the New Jersey Gem Show because I haven't been there yet. But I handpick everything that's in my shop. Like I handpick everything because I have built trust with the people that follow me. And I never, ever want to put something out that either isn't real isn't from a good place, if that makes sense. But you're going to be drawn to something different than your wife will be drawn to, than other people will be drawn to. And so if you can't physically put your hands on it and feel that vibration, you might get it and think this is the stone I need. And you get it and you don't even want to pick it up because it's not the stone you needed, it's the stone you wanted. So
I'm so happy you said that. That's exactly what I was looking for. Because you know what? It's so true. It's so true. Is that like you feel it?
Wow. Yep. Now, Bodhi, how did you realize that you had this gift? Is this something that you always, were into or felt as a child? Or is it something like in your adulthood? Or did you go through something that opened your eyes to this journey? I mean, this is so cool.
So I always joke that I grew up with like upper middle class hippie parents. I grew up right outside of Denver. So our church was the mountains. Like we were in the mountains all the time. And if anybody knows anything about the Rockies, like they're full of quartz and pyrite. And so we always were up in the mountains. My dad was raised by a lady who, she was kind of the healer of the family. And so I learned like by 8, I could walk super quiet in the woods. I can make my own bow and arrow. I can start a fire with nothing. But we joked that my dad raised boys. He had girls, but he raised boys.
Oh my gosh.
So paranormal places are normal to me. Digging for crystals is normal to me. But when I was 19, I had bacterial meningitis and I died twice, died in the ER, died in ICU. And when I came out of the medical coma, the neurologist standing there patted my arm. He's like, there she is. There's a good girl. And all I saw was like green, green, green. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's when the synesthesia hit and I fell down the rabbit hole of that as well. It took me until probably I was in my mid 30s to realize that what I was seeing it's like I have bifocals on. So what I'm seeing in my vision correlates with the psychological auric fields, which also correlate with different frequencies of crystals. Even if I pick up, like everybody knows what an amethyst is. It's this beautiful purple. If I pick that up, it's going to be a different color when I touch it. It's going to be a different color if I scrape my fingernail along it. And so I'll pick them up and I'll be like, oh, wrong color. It has to go back down. So all of this went together with me diving down the rabbit hole of Reiki healing, because there are a lot of times I found that I was getting to the point that noises were too much, that people were too much. Like it was overwhelming because you can't turn it off. I can't be like, hey, I'm going to take these bifocals off and sleep. Like that's not the case. And so I went and had a Reiki session done because just like your mom, someone said, maybe it'll help. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Like I'll try anything. And it did. And when I realized that 4 hours later, I didn't have this raging headache, I thought, oh my God, I need to learn how to do this. And I haven't looked back. I haven't looked back. I am a master teacher in 9 different types of Reiki, and then plus my own creations.
I didn't even know there were different types.
I didn't know that either. I just learned that. I was today's year. I was today years old when I realized this. But let me ask you this, and it's cool to see how like everyone's got a journey, right? Because like when you look back on your journey, it's like you're you look and you're saying to yourself like, wow, I was really meant to do this all along. Like just about your journey of being raised in the mountains and, you know, going through nature and like finding stones and being drawn to nature. Like I picked that up the moment that I saw you. I'm like, wow, she's so in tune with the earth. Like that is just her. And by the way, just going to tell you, I love the fact that you handpick crystals for your shop. And I'll tell you the reason why. One time my mom, and this is for everybody who's listening, like really, really going to know where your crystals come from. So my mom, you know, does the same thing. My mom's able to pick up, you know, stones and whatnot, and they speak to her. She'll see, you know, colors and get frequencies and things like that. Well, my mom, you know, felt the need to get a crystal ball because my mom does a lot of tea leaf reading, and she sees, she can see things in tea leaves and whatnot.
Oh my God.
You have yours right behind you. I love that.
That is awesome.
So my mom couldn't wait because my mom has like, my mom's got all different stones as well. She's got a seeing rock that she picks up and amidst different colors, and one that she holds. Same thing that you were saying. So my mom ended up going online and purchasing a crystal ball, and she got it from some shop. It wasn't from Amazon. It was actually from a stone shop, a mystical shop. And when the crystal ball arrived, my mom was so excited for it. She signed for it from the delivery driver, unboxed it, held it, and her hands started shaking. Like it had such bad energy on it.
Oof.
She packed it back up, shipped it away, and was like, I don't want anything. And my mom like wouldn't get a crystal ball for like 2 years, right? Because of the fact that she was so afraid from that experience. So I love that you handpick everything that's in your shop. And I love that you have that shop. And I've actually seen a little tour of it that you gave on TikTok one time. Oh, so cool.
What?
Oh, she's got everything.
Oh, I'm going to stock tonight in the bathtub.
In there, little energy recipes. Oh yeah, she's got some stuff in there.
Oh my goodness, it's like everything that we love.
But let me ask you this, right? Yeah. When you're doing a session, what is it besides the chakras that you're actually seeing? I know you said that you see colors. Do you see at the time when you're giving a treatment? Do you ever see like someone's life? Do you ever see like how does it come to you?
Well, if you think about it, let's talk about online. I'm meeting with you virtually. It depends how open you are to the experience. I'll see patterns. I'll see colors. I see people, animals. Like I had someone where I've had to back up really quickly. I'm like, okay, like I appreciate that, but like, maybe go over there, you know. Yeah. But it just really depends on the person, to be honest. If I'm working on you in person, I've had a couple of people's, you know, grandmas, grandpas be like, back up. Like, what are you doing with my kid, my grandkid? I'm like, I'm just here to help. You know, I'm just here to help.
Protective.
Just here to help. But it just depends. A lot of times it's patterns. If let's say somebody's going through a lot of grief, you know, they just went through a divorce, they lost a relationship. I might be like, dude, that is one heck of a steel box around your heart. Like, holy cow, like, let me give you the key to that because that's going to keep weighing down. So I try to put what I see into words that everybody can understand. Because if I say a steel box, everybody understands what a steel box is. If I say, dude, there's all kinds of gray swirling energy that looks like rebar around you, they're going to be like, okay, weirdo, cool. You know, so if I just say steel box, you understand what that is. So
Wow. Now, does it come to you like for example, like I know you could tell right away like what color our voices were. Now, do you know what color our auras are? Like both of us?
I mean, I would have to sit and look at you, and the fact that you have yellow behind you, it's a little hard. It's a little hard to see, but it would be really easy. Like it would be really easy, but anybody,
we're open to it too. I feel
anybody can learn to see auras too. I tell people that all the time. You practice on your plants. Like it's just, you know, when you were a kid and you let your eyes kind of cross a little bit, like freaking your mom out or whatever. If you a plant is the easiest thing because it's not going to move. But just have a plant with black or white background behind it, and you can just kind of unfocus your eyes a little bit. It takes a little bit. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to get it on the first try, but you'll start to see, some people will see a color and some people might see the wavy, like the energy of the plant. My oldest son sees energy. He doesn't see the aura. He sees energy. But my youngest kind of sees both of those things. So
that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So explain to people, because I think you would find this interesting too. You can't just become a Reiki master. Like you have to be taught, and you can't just learn it. You have to be taught by a Reiki master.
Right.
go through Reiki level 1, Reiki level 2, Reiki level 3. Can you explain like what the process is like? Because I feel like people just, when you say, like, people don't realize how much time goes into it. Like Reiki masters go to all different parts of the world. They study with different people. I mean,
well,
you
it's serious. I feel like you're dealing with someone's energy, like their being. So
exactly. Yeah. I'm actually like so glad you asked that. It's one thing that I deal with on social media a lot is people say, well, how come I can feel yours and I can't feel other people's? And I have to very nicely be like, well, probably because they're not trained all the way. But part of the reason you have to go through these levels of this and actually have someone that's attuned teach you is Reiki level 1 is really just you being open to it. And that, to be honest, in my opinion, is the hardest one to go through, because if you have never had a session, or if you don't know about how the energy is going to be when it hits you, a lot of people have to take a big break between Reiki 1 and Reiki 2, because you almost have this like mini emotional breakdown. You're angry and then you're crying and then your dreams are all over the place and you're calling your teacher like, what is going on? I don't know what's happening right now. But Reiki 2 is when you really start getting attuned to the symbols. So every type of Reiki is based off of Usui Reiki, and you're attuned to those symbols, being able to actually channel the energy, pull it from the universe. When you are attuned to Reiki 3, that's when you are attuned to do it through a distance. So do it virtually, or, you're in the other room, or maybe I know that you have a doctor's appointment and you're super, super stressed about it. And I'm like, okay, well, what time is your appointment? I can send it to you while you're in your appointment or through the future and so on. To teach it, you have to become a master teacher. And most traditional places require you to be a master level for 6 months to a year before they will allow you to teach it. Because as you start working on actual people, clients, you have to usually be level 3 to do that. There's a lot that goes into that because everybody's energy is different. I guarantee you that Matt would probably melt down a newer Reiki practitioner. Just from your voice, the colors up and down. I would be willing to probably bet one of my toes that you're an energy well, that you overwhelm people with your energy if you're not careful. So I would bet as a kid, like, people loved you.
Even for the people who are not, Reiki.
You're just a lot. Yeah.
But somebody that's an energy well, that their body puts off more energy than they can ever process, they will overwhelm a newer Reiki practitioner. And that can make a lot of people quit. If you don't know how to, if someone comes to me that maybe they just lost their entire family, within the last year, that's heavy. That's a lot. If you don't know how to take that and cleanse it and let it go, it stays in there. And that can make that Reiki practitioner really, really ill. So you have to take time in between each different level and learn how to work on people before really, in my opinion, you can teach it very well. Because if you don't know what people are going to come up against, you know what I mean? It'd be like me trying to teach you how to write.
Wow.
That's an amazing explanation. It's the same thing with mediumship. Like people don't realize when I first started mediumship, I used to sit down and I would cry with these people. I mean, I would be like, especially when somebody lost their son or their daughter, or like you said, Bodhi, their whole family, I'd sit down, I'd be like, oh, and then like I had to realize afterwards, like, I'm not helping them. Like when I'm taking on that energy, like I have to be able to deliver this message, right? And to be able to tune in and separate a little bit. Yeah. To be able to help this person. And it was something that during my mediumship, I had to really learn. And even now today, and what you probably do the same thing, Bodhi, is that when you're delivering and you're doing your work, you're so in the zone that you're not paying attention. Like for me, I'm not paying attention to the messages that I'm delivering. I'm just saying your mom is saying this, your dad is saying this, so on and so forth. And I'm, as fast as it's coming, I'm coming, I'm not really processing it. I'm just kind of
you have that comment, which is just healing. Yes. Like, it's just the end goal is just to heal this person, like deliver this message as clear as you can.
Which I think that, I gotta be honest with you, I think being an EMT helped me, because one of the things I think this, and you can see this now that we're talking about this, Bodhi, it's weird how you can see it across all different types of healing. Like I remember being an EMT, an emergency medical technician. And when I was going through school, my instructor at the time had said, listen, Because I was the type of person where I was always very sensitive, right? So when I was around somebody, and if somebody was like screaming in pain or yelling, like you'd want to take your hands off. You wouldn't want to keep working on the person. And my instructor at the time was like, listen, I don't care if the person is screaming, yelling, kicking their feet. You have to do what you got to do, or else this person's not going to, survive. When it comes to treating that person, taking care of that person, you have to make sure that you're getting the treatment, you're giving the treatment that that person needs, whether they're yelling, screaming, whatever. Right. And that really helped me. Like even now, like with Alexa's the biggest baby. So I feel like you're the one who's always like,
baby.
I feel like you're always the one that's like, you're hurting me. I'm like, I know, but I got to do what I got to do.
It's funny because I am, but I'm not. I can handle pain. Relax.
I don't know about that. Because but anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's the same thing with energetic healing as well. But I love the fact that you talked about that you really have to know your teacher too, right?
Yes.
And pick a good teacher. Mm-hmm. And learn from somebody.
It's a lot of trust.
It is trust.
A lot of trust. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, my first experience with Reiki, now I didn't even know what Reiki was. This was back when, oh my God, I want to say like I was 17 years old. And I went for like, back before I went to different massages, like back massages, neck massages, all these things. And there was this one woman that I went to in Boston. I'll never forget it. And I was like having like all this like neck pain at the time. And I didn't say anything about like what was bothering me, whatever. Well, anyways, I went and I laid down on the table and whatever. And she went to massage me and it was completely different. Like as she was massaging me, it was almost like energy was like lifting off of my body. And then she like was over on my shoulders. And at the time I was like, she was just like made like a little face and like stayed there for a little bit. And it wasn't because of what she was feeling physically. It was she was feeling energy, So long story short, I had said to the owner of the massage parlor, I was like, wow, I'm like, I've been to so many massages. I'm like, and that lady that you have back there is like freaking amazing. And she's like, oh, well, she's a Reiki practitioner. I'm like, what's Reiki? And she told me, and she's like, and I was like, wow, that's the reason why. It was like, not just something that was physical, right? She would do Reiki in connection with her massages, and you would leave and your mind would be clear.
You used to try to do it a little bit when I have GERD and like acid reflux. Like I'm like nauseous and whatever, but you used to try to do it on me a little bit. Or like send your energy. I shouldn't say. It was more just your energy. You're not a Reiki master.
No, I'm not anywhere near Reiki level 1, 2, or 3. Although it's one day it might be something that I want to do. I like to stick with one thing because you have to train your energy, right? Like I'd rather
you have to give a lot of yourself. Like
like I gotta tell you, like what's so beautiful about what you do is that you do it, first of all, you do it weekly and you share it with so many people on social media.
Oh, I can't wait to tune in.
It's all about your master. It's all about your teacher. And, I love the fact that you're doing this on TikTok because I feel like that you opened up so many people. I feel like you were like a pioneer in this. But like, obviously,
awesome.
The people on TikTok are younger. They don't really understand spiritual medicine or know that that's an option, right? And I believe I've learned throughout my life that you can do, treatments just like you went through, Bodhi, right? With the meningitis, you were treated with traditional medicine, but then afterwards, expanded into knowing that you can treat yourself with spiritual medicine. And have you helped people with Reiki that have gone through different illnesses like cancer or, another big one is autoimmune. How is
like
that
chronic pain?
So this is something when you were talking about being an EMT and so on, this coincides right along with you need to know your teacher and you need to know who you're going to. I work with my favorite people to work with are veterans. Believe it or not, they're my favorite people to work with. I work with a lot of veterans. I work with a lot of first responders. I work with a lot of their spouses because they carry the burden of the majority of that energy. But I also work with a lot of nurses and terminally ill people. So I've worked with so many people over the years that I have lost. And I say it that way because when somebody's coming to you every single week and you're seeing their face and, they're talking to you and they're confiding in you. And the other thing as a Reiki practitioner too, is you have to make sure that if you walk in the door and you see me and you're like, I don't think she's the girl for me. I am at a place in my life where I'm okay with that. Like, I want you to find the person that you're like, I trust that person implicitly because you're going to say things and things are going to happen, or I'm going to say things to you in that session. So working with people that have seen some of the worst things that people can do to each other, and then going through some of the worst diseases and, conditions and illnesses, and feeling that aloneness, you need to be able to trust that person that they are going to help you and they know what they're doing. So just like, you know, your teacher told you, like, you toughen up a little bit. That's the other thing too, that I think a lot of younger Reiki practitioners don't understand, is that eventually you're going to have somebody come to you that does have a terminal illness. They already know they have a timestamp, and they're just trying to get some relief and release some of the fear of that. So you're guiding people through so many different things. And there's a lot of times, like if I go to a convention or something like that, I have to tell my assistant, I'm like, I need a 15-minute break every 4 hours, because I'm going to go in the bathroom and cry for a hot minute, and then I'll fix my face and I'll be back professional. But I have to let that stuff go too. So
release.
You can't keep that. You can't keep that. And that's one of the things you got to learn.
And I'm glad that you're
I
so
love
open
to
about
cry.
that. Because there's been times when I'll even come to Alexa and I'll be like, after doing a reading, right? And I'll be like, it'll just hit you. Like at 11 o'clock at night, you'll just be like, oh my God, my heart goes out to that woman, or my heart.
Yeah, you're like, I can't stop thinking about it.
Just can't stop thinking about them, you know? And I think that really shows that when you feel that way, that your heart is in the right place. I always take it as that my heart's in the right place. And that, you know, I really connected with that person. Even with all the walls up that we have, right, that we feel it too.
Now, I know you just mentioned crying, Bodhi, and I have to say I'm a big fan of crying, not for any reason, just because for me, just personally, it's always such a release. I always feel better after crying. So is there anything that our listeners and that like we can personally do as non-Reiki masters at all, because I'm not even close, but is there anything that you kind of teach that like we can all take with us, like that we can practice kind of if we're having a tough day, if we're taking on a lot of negative energy or people's energy, like is there any ways that we can naturally release, or, you know, without, you know, because you're not in our pocket like I wish you were, but, you know, is there any way that we can kind of do it ourselves?
So here's what I'm going to impart to you. And this is what I tell everybody. I make them do this with me. Like, this is a requirement. If you watch me on Monday or Thursday, there is a technique, and it's actually a traditional Chinese medicine technique. And it has to be 6, okay? 6 deep breaths in a row, like as deep in as you can do and as deep out as you can do. Because what that does is it resets your heart rate, it resets your pulse, it resets your blood pressure, and it helps you kind of calm down and breathe all that out. So when I tell people, when I'm like, these first few hand positions I'm going through, I want you to take a deep breath every time I do, in and out. And you need to picture, like, when you're breathing all that out, let's say that, like Matt, let's say you had like several readings in a row and you're like, I can't believe people can handle this type of pain and grief, and like, oh, it's weighing on me really deeply. Laying in bed in the, you know, at night when you're going to bed, just breathing that back out, like, okay, that needs to get back out into the universe. You know, it sounds like a little bitty tiny thing, but I'm a big person on breath work. That's also why during my sessions, I'm like, are you breathing? Like, take a deep breath. Are you breathing? Because people will hold their breath, you know, when you're anxious, when you're upset, when you're mad, when you're focused, you'll hold your breath. So breath work is a big, huge thing. And that technique of 6 deep breaths, a lot of professional athletes use it. A lot of like singers and stuff use it, because think about, if you just ran a marathon and you're like, instead of hyperventilating, if you use that technique, it helps to lower everything down to where your body cools back down.
Oh, yeah, because you get dizzy. I suffer from panic attacks, unfortunately, and oh my gosh, for years. And yeah, I get dizzy when you hyperventilate.
That will help you tremendously. That technique will help you tremendously. I had a mini stroke in 2021, and I think that if I hadn't known that technique, I would have freaked out. I would have panicked. So yeah.
That would have been enough to send me. Right.
But you know what? What about, because you know what I do too with breath work, which I like love, and I don't know, I just always felt the need to do it. Was that you talked about colors, like focusing on inhaling certain colors, like healing colors.
You do white a lot.
I do white. I also do blue, sometimes pink. I'll like focus on like inhaling those colors, and then, you know, taking a deep breath out and like blowing out, you know, gray, like blowing out the energy that's not yours. Have you ever done work like that?
A little bit. I think because I see colors and I'm so engulfed in them. I don't, for me personally, I don't. But have you ever by chance looked up what the spiritual meanings are of the colors that you chose?
See, yes. I was just going to ask. I'm like, wait, should we be choosing those?
Well, it depends on
what should we be thinking about?
It depends on what. I don't know if you're going through like some healing. If you're needing some healing, like there's like different colors mean different things.
Right. So like for Matt to pick white is perfect because white is tying yourself to the divine, to the spirituality. It's also learning and cleansing, and blue is trustworthy and loyalty and inner peace and calm. So yeah.
You know what's funny? When it was funny, Bodhi, is that I saw your TikTok the other day, or it was TikTok or Instagram I saw, and you were taking a bath. And you're like, I just needed this bath. And you know what's so funny? I related to you because Mediumship 101 for me, that has always been my go-to. Like if I feel too much energy on me, if I feel like I'm drained, for me, salt baths were a life changer, especially when I first, like you talked about Reiki practitioners, like being overwhelmed by energy when they first started. I used to get overwhelmed. I used to get so overwhelmed doing readings in the beginning with same thing that you go through as an energy worker, with headaches, with body aches, with just your energy feeling depleted, feeling energy of your that wasn't your own. That what really worked for me with the breath work was also going and taking salt baths. I would load the bath up with salt and take it and then focus on the breaths, inhaling white, exhaling gray, you know, picking different colors. And that's what helped me.
Oh, I love the bath so much.
But it's personal preference. Like it's all up to you.
No, well, people like showers too. They can, and you do that a lot. Like you consider a shower, like, you know, you kind of meditate in the shower, you let all the energy wash off and cleanse you. For me, I love a bath. Oh my God. Almost every night I take a bath. Whew, it's just,
so do you know why salt baths work so well?
Why?
So salt will cleanse your aura. So I always tell people that you need to think of your aura on a daily basis. Like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, where he has to cover himself in the mud to hide. That's your aura at the end of the day, like with just interactions with people. So salt is very cleansing, and it also connects you back to the divine person inside. So when you're sitting in a salt bath, you don't really have to do anything because it's cleansing everywhere. So I tell people all the time, like if you're not a bath person, because I get it, some people aren't, just a little bit in your body wash, like you can sprinkle some salt in your body wash, you can put a bowl of it in there, put it on your loofah or whatever. As long as you're washing with it, your aura sits out here. You know, people that are really in tune with their spiritual self sits a little further, but usually about a foot away. And you can kind of test where yours is by like you press on the inside of your hands and then you put your hands like this and you'll feel it, like you'll feel a little pushback. But washing that part, that's why it helps so much, because you kept all of those things from everybody. So you sitting in that salt bath cleared all of that off and allowed you to go back to being Matt instead of Matt with all of these extra people on top of it.
It was amazing. It was amazing how it worked for me. And let me tell you this. When I first started the salt baths, I had no idea what I was doing. I just it's funny how you kind of just drawn to things, right? One night I was like, nothing was bringing me relief. Like I just felt like so drained. I'm like, you know what? I saw we had like some Epsom salt it was mixed with like magnesium and like one of those bags. It was like one of the Dr. Keel bags. Like, I'm going to try this and see what happens. Like I'm just going to put this in the bag. And then I was like, wow, this worked. And then, you know, I started to look up some of the meanings behind it. And that's kind of how I figured it out. And you remember, like, and this is why I love what you do so much, is in the beginning when I first started mediumship, I had no idea what I was doing. You know, I knew I could see and hear dead people, but I didn't know all about, you're not trained by the other side to clear your energy and to fix your energy and, you know, the human things that we have to go through, you know, living a spiritual life. So I think that that's so cool that you bring people through that. And, you know, we talked about what you feel when you do a session, but what has been the most profound experience? Like what has someone shared with you when they've gotten a session with you? Was there ever a time when you had a client and they saw something crazy when you were doing a Reiki session on them?
All the time. I'm trying to pick out just one. When she was talking about crying a while ago, I, a long time ago, worked in a shop, and they, as a joke, you know how you have those like days without an accident? They would have like days since Bodhi has made someone cry, and it was always 0. I'm like, I really hate you guys. Like, that's not funny, you know, but that's probably, to be honest, the biggest thing. Almost, I'm going to say 80% of people that I work on cry. And it's okay. You know, like I ain't going to tell nobody. I ain't going to out you. But I have people all the time. They're like, why do I see this color? Like, why am I seeing a bear? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen my dad in 20 years. Like things like that. They see the gamut of things. I've had people see symbols, you know, and draw them for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's blah, blah, blah. Or let me help you figure out what that is. And yeah, so it can run the gamut of they don't see anything at all to they walk away feeling like they just had a psychedelic experience. It runs the gamut of things. So probably the weirdest thing to me, because I saw it, but I didn't want to say anything because it's not like I'm going to say, there's a whole big old snake, like all the way around you. Like, I don't want to hear that when I'm on the Reiki table. Like, no, ma'am, I would be like in Mexico within 2 minutes. So when she got up, she sat up and she said, the whole time that you were working on me, I felt like there was a snake around me. And I said, well, good or bad? She said, I think it's good. She said, my mom always loved snakes and we had snakes all over our house. Like, you know, crystals or whatever, it's shaped like snakes. And she was like, so I kind of feel like that was my mom saying that she loved me and hugging me. She walked out my door and I was like, bloop, 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 bloop. Like I just bawled because she was so much lighter. I didn't even know her mom had passed away. So she was so much lighter from being wrapped by a snake in a Reiki session. So, you know, I mean,
but it was also protection. Like that's definitely like her mom protecting her.
Yeah. Right? Well, because I was going to say, what does that represent? Because I know sometimes in spirituality, snakes can mean jealousy. Snakes can mean some negative things too. So it's nice that for her it was positive, you know.
So let me ask
not
you
everything
this.
is negative.
Do you ever use crystals with you? I know that you wear them, but do you ever place crystals on people when doing a session?
I do, yes. I actually have a set of crystals. I only have 4 because the rest of them have broke, but I have 4 that I have used since 2018. I use the same ones. But when I'm doing a Reiki session, I don't wear jewelry. The only thing I keep on is this. I don't ever take that off, but my earrings, my necklaces, everything goes off. And I have a whole array of things and I will pick what it is I feel that you need at that moment.
Because the new thing, I don't know if you've seen it, because my For You page is all dead people and spirituality and whatnot, right? So like the new thing, that's all I see. And you go on my TikTok, that's all it is, right? So the new thing is like people going and like when they have a stressful day, or like, it's kind of funny. I know it's kind of funny for me as a medium, right? To see people like laying down on their bed with like covered in like crystals. This is like the new.
I've never seen that.
On your For You page, Bodhi?
That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
my day after dealing with my boss, like they're laying down on the couch,
that's
like there's all
funny.
of these piles of like of stones on them.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
In your world, is there truth to that? Is there, what can you do? Does it really help? Do you have to layer like 20 stones on you? Can you work with 4?
So usually I have one that coincides with each chakra. You can buy them where they've already got the symbols on them. They look really groovy and cool. I prefer to pick mine or let them pick. I will ask people too. I'll be like, all right, you know, which one draws you more, you know, A or B? And, I usually give people one to hold. So let's say that, you know, Susan over here comes to me and she's like, hey, I just lost my mom a couple months ago. I can't function. Like, help me. And so I'm like, okay. So I have a sphere of celestite, which is a stone for grief. And I'll ask them to hold it. You know, I'm like, you can hold it on your belly. You can hold it beside you, whatever you want to do. But I will tailor those crystals to what I feel is needed if I don't know what's going on. But there's a lot of truth to that. As funny as it is, there's a lot of truth to that. Blue apatite is one of my favorite stones because it's calming and it helps to, you know, kind of get some energy away, but it's also attuned to the future. And I might have way too many Capricorn placements. So I'm all about goals. So I have a heart-shaped one. It's the only heart I own. I sleep with that thing sometimes and I'll catch myself like really gripping it. And I'm like, all right, you're not going to break the stone, like calm down. But it's a thing. They're just making it funny, but yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
That's pretty cool.
That is so cool.
Well, I didn't know. I obviously knew about the chakras, like aligning your chakras and putting stones with the chakras. But then when I was seeing this trend going on, I'm like, wait a minute now. Maybe people got some really heavy energy.
It's like an exaggeration almost, like, but.
But it's good that she's on here talking about it because people take that seriously. Like,
no, of course. Of course.
Because people...
Got a lot of different people on TikTok. Yes.
I was telling somebody that,
social media in general.
Somebody was asking me about, like, what do you, like... I shouldn't even say this on here, but somebody was asking me, like, oh, what kind of crystal, like, should I have? Or, like, what kind of stone should I use to, like, invite love into my life? So I was talking to them about, like, the rose quartz that you would, like, use and bring into your... Well, anyways, this person must have got the biggest rose quartz. That, like, they're thinking like the size, the boulder, right? So, like, looking for, like, the biggest rose quartz that they can find and put in the house. But I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be, like, that big. Like, the bigger the stone, you're not going to attract that many men. Like, But... people do. They take it to the extreme sometimes. I guess it makes sense, right?
I mean, is that go big or go home? Like, I mean, I
go big or go home.
I mean, you tell me. You're the expert on it. But I mean, I think what's really cool is that when you see people start breaking into spirituality and then they start with crystals, and they start placing them in the homes, how it does make a difference where you can feel the energy. And, like, for example, I'm sure, like, if I walked into your shop, you would just feel the energy that's in there with all your stones speaking. And you can see that with people in their houses. I know that when we just bought a house from our neighbors and we redid it and whatnot. And one of the first things that I did was, I put crystals on all four corners in the walls, right, to help to protect the house. And crystals mean so many different things. There's so many different types, and there's so much that you can bring into your home, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, whenever I paint anything, I actually powder selenite and put it in the paint in the walls.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Now that's cool.
That's so smart.
So then everything is being cleansed all the time.
Wow,
that's really awesome. That's so cool.
Amazing.
I was actually just doing another podcast, and it's actually coming out with Digital Social Hour, and he was telling me that he buried crystals in the next to the foundations of his house, and his landscapers kept taking them up accidentally, so you have to go out there and, like, rebury them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But I mean, I do that, so I understand. I was taught as a kid to bury a masonry nail, like the weird kind of flat ones, in the four corners of your property, and have one in the middle, because masonry nails have the most iron in them, so it helps to keep bad spirits out of your space. Lets grandma and grandpa in, but keeps the bad spirits out. So I do that every time. Every house I've ever lived in, they're still there. Those nails are still there in the yard.
Cool. You know what's really become popular now too is pet Reiki. Have you seen a lot of people ask you to perform Reiki on their pets?
I work on animals all the time.
Wow.
I've had a lot of people get a rescue animal, and especially little dogs, that they shake a lot. And I've worked on horses. I worked on race horses. All of it. I love working on birds. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Birds scare me.
Yeah, you're a little afraid of birds.
I don't like birds. They're too, like, unpredictable for me. I don't know.
They are a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah,
scary. But they're funny. Horses are real fun too. Horses are fun to work on too.
Oh, I'm sure. I would love to see that.
They're so beautiful. They're such beautiful animals.
So a lot of people
the way
don't realize-
they side eye you, sometimes when you're working on the way they side eye you, it's like, I know, I'm pulling it out. Like, I'm pulling it out. I promise.
For the people who are listening that are probably like, why do pets need Reiki, right? I can tell you, I sit on the board of directors of an animal shelter, which a lot of people don't know. And what's really cool is that we have Reiki practitioners that come in. A lot of like level 1s, level 2s, people who are just, coming into their gifts that want to practice. And like you said, they might not be ready to handle someone else's energy. So they come and they work on pets. And I'll tell you, it's really interesting because you have these animals that come in that are holding on to past energy, from being abused, being neglected, being in terrible, terrible homes. And it's like, you don't realize that we're all souls, right? They hold on to that too. So I'm sure, like, when you do the Reiki sessions when you do a session on a animal, that you can feel that release with them.
Yeah, exactly. You can, it's just like a person, like somebody comes in and they're like this tensed up, and then you kind of watch them start to melt a little bit. A dog does the same thing. A horse, a cat, they do the same thing.
Wow.
And usually they're their normal self back again, instead of, you know, the dog that was barking or the cat that wouldn't calm down. So
So what are some signs that a Reiki session is working after you're done with your patient? Like, what should they look? I call it the patient. When you're done with your client, what should they look for? What can they see?
So a lot of times I'll tell people, I hand everybody, if you're coming to me in person, I'm handing you a bottle of water. Like, you need to drink a lot of water. I tell people that you need to be prepared to run the gamut of emotions. You might leave my shop or the appointment or whatever floating. You know, you might be so light that you're floating, and then later you're so mad you're like about to break a tooth. Then your dreams are crazy. And I remind people that Reiki energy works along the same meridians of the body that acupressure and acupuncture work on. And just like with one of those, or with massage, you have to drink water because those toxins have to leave. So if you're not drinking water and you're holding all that in, you're going to have a little bit of a worse time emotionally than, you know, if somebody is drinking a couple bottles of water. But emotions are a big, big part of it. Being able to actually let those things go, release them, and feel better. But a lot of times, if you're coming to me or a Reiki practitioner and you have like lupus or diabetes is a good one. So I'm diabetic. And so I tell people like, hey, if you're diabetic, I want you to eat some sugar before you come in. And B, go eat right after, because what's going to happen is you're going to get this little jump because your energy is up, and then you're going to get a crash when your emotions are released and you're not holding all that stuff in anymore. Lupus is the same way. Like, I can help someone in a lupus flare up, things like that.
Wow.
Doesn't mean I can cure it, but it does mean I can help, because if your body is more relaxed, it's going to go through that flare up a lot easier. So emotions are the big thing, but there's a lot of physical things that you'll notice later, like, oh my gosh, I haven't been able to move my arm in months, and suddenly I can move it the entire way. And you don't realize where energy will suck in somewhere and you can't move a body part.
So let me ask you this. It's a little personal, right? But my grandmother, so back in the day, my grandmother was a psychic medium, but never did it professionally, right? Only my mom knew about this and a few close family friends. So back in the day before, I don't even know if my grandmother knew what Reiki was. I don't know if it was even talked about way back when my grandmother was around. But what was interesting is that being a psychic medium, she was very much attuned to the energy, very much attuned to grounding, right? And to different crystals. And what was interesting is that when my grandmother was sick for 20 years with cancer, never went to a doctor. Literally just, it started at the size of a pea and it just kept growing. And she used her own spiritual practice to heal herself. One, because they couldn't afford health insurance. My grandmother didn't have any money. And second of all, I think that she was just so afraid of doctors that she used so many different things. I don't know. I call it weird rituals she would do, right? She would like get some stones that would speak to her from the earth and like take them and like put them on her to help with pain and things like that.
Yeah.
And what I interpret as an early form of Reiki, because like I said, she wasn't trained on Reiki, wasn't trained on any of this, but spiritually she knew to do this, and it somehow helped her. My grandmother did not take pain medications. So somehow whatever she did, whatever she was channeling into worked for her at the time. Was there anything before you became a Reiki master and you actually knew how to work with the energies and dive in, you know where I'm going with this. Was there anything that you noticed about yourself? Or did you ever pick up on, you talked about being younger and kind of feeling and searching for stones. Were you ever attracted to different things like that? Like, or practice spiritual energy or healing energy without knowing what you were doing?
So two of my favorite things growing up, I'm super tender-footed. I don't like to be barefoot, but if I'm outside, I want my shoes off. I need my feet in the grass or on the dirt. Like I need that grounding. Like I didn't realize what that was as a kid. And then quartz was always my favorite stone. It still is. Like I have a legitimate problem, but and now that I know what quartz does, I'm like, oh, well, like that makes sense. It amplifies everything else, but it helps to kind of just center you and ground you. It's like the OG of all the crystals. But one thing about your grandma, like in spirituality, that would really be called like granny magic. A lot of older people, they knew how to. My grandma's this way. She would be like, "Go get a stone out of the yard, whichever one you want," and we would sit and just hold the stone, and suddenly we're like, "Oh, I feel better. Like I'm not angry that I fell anymore or whatever." But they understood that a lot of the herbs that are growing around your house and the stones of the earth would help to calm you down and disperse that energy and the panic and all that stuff. But laying on of hands is also a thing in so many cultures, and it's the same thing. You're laying your hands on somebody to move that energy back and forth and to help disperse it. But as a kid, man, I loved animals, like animals all the time, all over me. And I find that a lot of people that are healers, same thing. And if you watch on Mondays and Thursdays, people be like, my cat came running in when they heard your voice. And I'll have people tell me like, my cat won't get off my phone, or my dog's right here snoring. And so if you're thinking that you might have some healing abilities, if animals just will not leave you alone, then chances are pretty high that you have a pretty natural ability as far as healing goes.
I mean, I love that you say about the laying of the hands too, because it's so true how, like, even if you're not a Reiki practitioner, even if you don't believe that, your energy can heal or help someone, it does. I mean, you see it a lot of times with people who are dying. They want their hands being held, right? Yes. They want you to hold their hands. They want you to put hands on them. Yes. And just that simple thing, like, because we're spiritual beings, just putting your hands on somebody really helps. Like, you transfer your energy without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Well, how often as a kid when you fell, your mom was like, let me kiss your boo-boo, and it magically was better? I mean,
that's what Royce does right now. That's exactly. He always wants me for some reason when he gets hurt. I'll go, Mama. Aww. And then I'm like, you want me to kiss it? And I'll kiss it. He goes, oh, better. And like literally just stops crying. Like oh my God, it's so precious.
You're safe. You're mom. You're the protector, So yeah.
I love that you said that about the Grammy magic, because like my grandmother was like that. My grandmother was big into, like I said, back in those days, didn't have computers. Like there wasn't no. It was very hush hush. My grandmother was raised Catholic, so of course in our community couldn't talk about things like that. But my grandmother was like obsessed with rocks, like you're saying. It's like, I don't know the name of it. Like those. It almost looks like quartz, the white rocks that you find out in nature.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they are.
Are they kind of milky?
Yes.
Milky colored. That's milky quartz.
Oh, milky. Okay, my grandmother.
It's everywhere.
Oh my God. Okay. She used to find those. So for example, when I say find them, no, we're not in the woods, we're in the city. Okay.
I know. I'm like,
in the suburbs. But if she would go to, like, for example, we had like a park where like people would have like rent out an area and have their birth,
Yeah.
If she found a rock there that called her, she'd be telling my grandfather, like, Louis, get in the car. Come on. You're going to take that rock home. So long story short, when my grandmother died, we had so many friggin' rocks in our backyard that it was ridiculous. It took my mother 2 years. My mother used to load up the car after my grandmother died. I never saw my mother so excited. She would go in the backyard, load up the car. The car would be literally like sinking in the back, right, from all these rocks being loaded up. And she'd like go and return them back where she thought my grandmother found them, like the cemetery, the park. And as a little kid, after school, my mother would be like, get in the car. Come on, I got grandma's rocks. Returning them back to where the hell they came from. And my mother, but it brought her comfort. She saw something in the stones, and they were all unique. They weren't like, I'm not just talking about like a stone that like was in a parking lot. It's like, they were pretty. Some were white. Some were like really just these different, variations of gray. Like,
wow. Well, they spoke to her.
I feel like it's a good thing that I never met your grandma, because I do the same thing. Same thing. My son went through basic and AIT last summer and fall. Oh. And when we drove him to his AIT station, we walked him in, and when we went in, and it was not a little rock, it was big. And I walked by and I was like this, and my son was like, Mom, you don't need that rock. I was like, I need that rock. So the whole way back, I'm like, am I going to get in trouble if I take this rock from an army base? Like, am I going to get in trouble? And I was like already trying to figure out, like, I'm like 5'2". So I'm trying to figure out like how I'm going to steal this rock, because it's like a football. And so we just walked by and I was like, I'm going to take that rock. And my kids are like, Mom. But then of course my son was like, I knew that. He's like, I'm surprised you didn't ask me to pick that up for you. It's by my front door.
Wow.
Okay, this is what my grandmother used to do. My grandmother had these white rocks, this pile of, and it's funny, that's how she used to tell people that's where we live. She'd be like, oh, look for the white rock, like out in front. And she had like this big, huge white rock. But she would send my grandfather out. Like if she went to a place and she found a rock, my grandfather was coming back with a shovel. Like they were boulders. These were not like little tiny rocks. So that's so funny because that's what she used to do. And my mother used to get so pissed. My mother was like, what is your obsession with rocks? To the point where, like I said, when she died, we returned all the rocks. There was like not a rock.
They were gone.
Although it's so weird how times like change, right? There was not a rock in the backyard. Like it was like completely just grass. And then when my mom started getting back into spirituality and the other side, like then my mom, of course, went and bought them. So it's kind of like my grandmother's way of saying, like,
I was gonna say she has some rock. Like I've seen some rocks around her office.
Oh, she's got crystals and rocks. She's got an angel garden with all rocks. But it's funny because she could have had them all for free.
Yeah, she already had
them. She returned them. Right?
She had a collection. Yeah.
And now my mother doesn't think she's crazy because that's
so funny. Wow.
But I love that story with your kids. Oh,
I bet your grandma could tell you exactly where every rock came from too.
Oh, she knew. 100%. She knew. I think that we still have some, to be honest. There's got to be some somewhere around that yard because.
Wow. I believe it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that and
the kids will find them.
She was obsessed with that, and she was obsessed with seashells for some reason. She used to bring home seashells too. For some, we had a weird yard growing up. Like I don't know, like I'm surprised people didn't know that she was a psychic medium just because we had rocks all over the place. We had seashells on the front lawn. It's like, what the hell was this? Like just like you get from the beach and be attracted to.
Well, whatever works. Whatever works.
It's so interesting though when you talk to spiritual people and like especially like your family was spiritual, your grandmother had a little something, right? And it was kind of ran in your family. How like everybody, we all kind of do the same things but different. We're all attracted to the same things. So like,
Yeah, see, I did not come from a spiritual family like that at all. So this is all new to me. This is so interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Oh, you're in trouble.
Spiritual. Like as I get older, like I'm spirit, in being with you, like I'm very spiritual. So it all makes sense to me now. But I feel like 15 years ago, if you were to say this stuff, I'd be like, what?
But we forget it. We kind of forget that we're spiritual beings and who we come from. Like, let me ask you this, Cody. Like, how many times have you seen like a little kid come into your shop who like didn't like the mother just brought him in or the dad just brought him in or her in, and they just get like completely enamored with the different stones and whatnot.
So I love little kids. I love when little kids come in. So, I do two things when little kids come in. First, people always ask like, what can I send you? What can I send you? So I'm always like, send me a gnome. And so all around the shop, we have gnomes and they get a prize if they find all of the gnomes in the shop. And I don't even know how many gnomes I have at this point. So whatever number they win, and they get to pick a stone out of, whatever. But I also love it when they're digging through stones and they have like several, right? Maybe they have like 3 and mom's like, well, you can only have 1. And I'm a sucker for like a cute little kid, So I'm always like, well, what would you name that stone if you had that stone? And they immediately have a name, or they're whatever. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what. I was like, why don't you just put it in your pocket? Like I'm giving it to you. Just put it in your pocket. And then they walk out on like cloud 9 and they can't wait to come back to the shop. And
I love kids.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so sweet.
I love that.
I also love it too. I'll have a lot of parents bring a kid to me that's having bad dreams. One of the things I tell people all the time, and you've probably heard me say this too, is I tell people like, if you ever get stuck in a dream, I started doing it for kids and it's grown from there. But if you have a bad dream, I tell them you put a black horse by your bed. My whole arm is a black horse tattoo. And you just draw you a stick figure. And if you need me, I'll come get you. And I had so many parents tell me that like they have slept through the night ever since then. Like, oh my gosh. But I still have people that have been following me for years. They're like, you were in my dream last night. I'm like, oh, well, did you go too far? Like, did you go? What were you doing? Were you doing some stuff that you should have been doing? I had to come get you. So, yeah. So I love being able to encourage little kids because, well, I'm sure your gift didn't just, you had it, and not having anybody that can explain to you why there's a person at the foot of your bed or why you're seeing shadows everywhere or whatever. Having somebody that that is safe, that explains it to you and is like, I can help you, like you call my name if you need me. I got you. I'll come beat the monster up, like things like that. And letting them know that you don't have to be afraid of those things. You don't have to be afraid of, grandpa's been gone 5 years, but he's sitting on my bed every night. Like, you don't have to be afraid of that. And so I was lucky enough to have parents that, if we saw something weird like that, they were like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Instead of you just have an overactive imagination, just go back to bed. We talked about it. And so I try to do that for little kids. I love little kids.
Oh my gosh, me too. No, and I love that you're spiritual and that we're open to it. So we think our son, Royce, our first son so far, he's turning 3 this year. He seems to have a little bit of an ability. A lot of ability. Actually. Yes. He's very, very hypersensitive. He's very smart, very observant, knows things. He's really, really intelligent for a 3-year-old, talks in his sleep, reaches in his sleep. So I'm glad that, we're the type of parents as well, just like yours, that are going to accept that. Be like, okay, don't be afraid. We've kind of already done it, So I love that because look what it can turn into. That's so nice. When you're supported, that's good.
But I also agree. Royce, it's so funny. I tell my son all the time because when he's talking about like monsters and things, show me the monster, Daddy will kick his ass. Like, Daddy, so I tell him that all the time. Like, if you need me, Daddy will kick his ass. Like, you don't got to worry about that. And they respond to it. He answers back. He's always like, oh, I saw something, but I wasn't afraid because I know Daddy would kick his ass. Or Daddy's At the end of every night before we put him to bed, we always say, God's gonna keep you, and then he says safe and healthy, and we're like, if you ever need Mom and Dad, you say, and then he says, Mom and Dad, I need you. So we do that every single night. So much so that now he says it to our 2-month-old, Rowan. So he's like, Rowan, God's going to keep you safe and healthy. If you need Mommy and Daddy, say, I need you. Like, he's such a doll. He's such a sweet soul. Oh my goodness. Such a sweet soul. Oh, I love kids.
That's adorable.
So let me ask you, because a good way to end is, what is the best way at the end of the day? Because of course you see this all the time, that like all day long, it's hard to live in today's world. I feel like every year it gets tougher and tougher with the energies, because we have energy coming through our phone, we have energy coming through the media, we have energy coming through social media.
Too much.
Oh my God, it's a lot, right?
Especially in apps like TikTok. Not to interrupt you, because you're seeing. On TikTok, it cannot be healthy. I go from hysterically laughing to depressed to crying over like someone in deep grief. Then I scroll again and it's like a dog. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like these have to be way too many emotions to process in like a 6-second time frame. But sorry.
I know. It's like I don't know what the hell's going on in my bedroom at night. It's like a roller coaster. I'm looking over one minute, she's like, but then she's laughing. I'm
laughing so hard that I can't breathe. It's ridiculous. It can't be healthy. It can't be. I'm sorry. I don't mentally it can't be.
I just was watching a thing on what was it, on Masterclass, and they were saying that you like the micro content is not good. You guys,
it's not good. It can't be good.
But you're supposed to like stick with something and follow it. Like,
I'm addicted. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
So what do we do? How do we fix this, Bodhi? What are we going to do at the end of the day when we got the boss that we're dealing with, the kids that we're dealing with, the family that's driving us crazy, when we got all this, and even now, like with like I said, just the news and so much going on around the world. I think that people don't realize the energy hits you.
And you pick it up whether you know it or not.
Yes, you pick it up. What can you do like as a good nighttime, just simple cleanse?
So I'm going to give you a secret weapon. This should help you with the kiddos too. There is a thing called the solfeggio frequencies, and it's SOLFEGGIO. And you can find playlists on YouTube, on Apple Music, Spotify, all the things, right? And they're just really gentle things, but every one of them is a frequency and it corresponds with a different chakra. So if you know that you've had a really crappy day, you're super stressed out, maybe you can't go take a salt bath, you can play that while you sleep and it will automatically roll through all of those different chakras and you'll wake up feeling tremendous. If there's a time when like kiddo can't concentrate, you're like, hey, I really, really need you to clean your room. You can't concentrate. You can play those and see which one he reacts to the most. I did this with my daughter. She's very, very neurospicy. And so I would just play them in the living room and not tell her what they were.
Yeah.
I really like that one. Will you play that one again? I'm like, of course I will. And then mentally I'm like, I see what frequency you're listening to. Like, I see you, like which chakra that corresponds to. but they're usually you can find like crazy music with them, but like the nice, soft, gentle ones that are kind of like white noise, pink noise to help you sleep.
Yeah.
That frequency in there will help to realign the energy in your body, and you'll
should
wake up
do that
better.
Wait, well, I just did.
No, but our second son, Rowan,
yes.
oh goodness, he was allergic to my breast milk. Now he has awful acid reflux. He is so uncomfortable. He's always suffering from pains and stomach pains and gas pains. And oh my God, it freaking breaks our heart. But he sleeps in our room at night, obviously in the bassinet. So that might be nice for him too, because obviously he's not thinking like we are. He's gonna absorb it subconsciously. And that might really help him too.
Well, I'll tell you, I just did a course. And while I'm in the process of doing the course, actually, we're still going through it. And all the students who came in, they're really new to spirituality. And a lot of people were telling me they couldn't meditate. They had a hard time meditating. Yeah. So I was going through the frequencies, and I chose like this 80 hertz frequency for them to start opening them up to receiving the information in the course. And people were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how this helped me."
I need to try that.
Yeah, with
I cannot meditate for the life of me.
I'll share with
you. Please. Oh.
It was the frequency paired with the meditation that helped to open them up to the experience of taking the course. And people were having these just amazing experiences where they just were seeing things and feeling things. And I love that you work with the frequencies like that.
It's incredible.
People don't realize how you're around frequencies all day. Like my computer that's acting up right now is a frequency. Your phone is a frequency. The earth itself has a frequency. And so if what you're used to changes, then it's going to cause physical changes in here. And for people that, have any kind of overactive brain in any way, shape, or form, a frequency is going to help. Like you just have to find the right one. Like I always tell people, if you find something, say it's 4 hours long, before you just sleep to that, like skip to the middle, and listen to it for a few minutes. And if immediately you're like, oh, I have a headache, like maybe don't listen to that one. But everybody has a frequency that they respond to depending on what you're going to in that moment, what you're going through in that moment. So I love that you played that for your students.
That's pretty cool. Awesome.
Well, this has been
awesome. Gosh. Bodhi, thank you so much for your time and for your wisdom and your mastery. And I can't wait to re-listen to this episode. I can't wait.
Me too.
And I'm going to tune in on Monday.
And everybody got to check her out on TikTok. The Blue Bodhi is her. You can find her everywhere on the Blue Bodhi.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so this is going to be linked to my TikTok, probably on her TikTok. So you'll be able to find her and see her, and you got to tune in on Mondays nights. It's amazing. It really is amazing. I tune in on Monday nights.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm telling you, I'm going to sit in my salt bath, and I'm just going to watch on Monday night. I can't wait.
We'll do it together, me and you.
I can't wait. Aww. I'm so excited.
I love that. Excited. I love that. I guess I just I love, and what? It's so funny because I never really understood it until I started watching you, because people tell me all the time, I love Matt to just watch your readings and see how people heal, and see how it helps people. And I'm not there for healing myself. I love seeing the people to just watch the comments and to see what you do, to be in your zone, you're just giving so much of your energy. And there's just people who are tuning in for all different reasons. And you can just see in the comments how it's helping people.
Yeah.
Well, they also do what's called my favorite part. I'll say, hey, do my favorite part. And people that have watched me for a long time know that my favorite part is just to put something in the chat that's uplifting, or maybe it's what you needed to hear at your lowest, or because you never know who's sitting outside the live. You never know who's scrolling through and they don't want to say anything, but maybe they asked for a sign that morning that they should stay, and they come across and somebody is like, you matter. And they're like, oh, I do, so I always do my favorite part just to make sure that everybody knows that whatever ripple they make in the universe matters on a moment to moment basis. So
see, I sit outside the chat.
My goodness.
I sit outside the chat. I haven't been in the chat because I didn't want to go and screw you up or screw up the flow or screw up so I didn't want to tune in and then people why is Matt Fraser here? Oh my God, Matt Fraser. I didn't want to do that. So I was I stayed outside.
Oh my gosh. What time do you go live?
8:30 Central.
8:30 Central, so 9:30 our time. Okay, perfect time.
I usually don't pay super close attention to who's in the chat, except one time, and it did throw me off a minute, and I had to compose myself. I had Stevie Nicks come into my chat, and I was like, there's no way. I'm like, there's no way. If Stevie Nicks knows who I am, I can die happy right now. Yeah, but when I clicked on the thing, and I was like, don't react. Don't react. Don't react.
So I am always afraid of doing that to somebody because I'm like, because you're in your zone. I don't want to screw you up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You need a troll account. You need an inconspicuous account.
Yeah, you need like just a bystander account.
But I also like to see the people who like follow me back. And, I found some.
You've
really
made nice connections, on TikTok. So, thank you
awesome.
so much. Oh my gosh, this was like everything to us. We so enjoyed talking to you. I learned so much.
But wait,
and I can't wait to just cleanse my energy.
Tell everybody where your shop is too. That's so important.
Okay, well, right now it's not open to the public because we're moving to Pennsylvania. I just purchased an almost 200-year-old church with an over 200-year-old cemetery, and we'll be opening an event venue. So shop and event venue. So,
oh my goodness.
Well, I'll have to come check it out because Pennsylvania is one of my favorite places.
Well, everyone stay tuned. Stay tuned. Follow the Blue Bodhi for all of that exciting information.
Yep.
And oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Absolutely.